Good day, everyone. Today is the 29th of July, and today's Tuesday. We have a red folder news, which was gold's job openings. And yeah, I do know there's going to be a surge of volatility today. No, there were red folder news, but it wasn't like the unemployment claims, which would happen in the next couple of days. But yeah, overall today, I took three trades, and I was extremely short by this time. Mainly on the higher time frame, guys, we have here 4 hour value gap. Dang. Right now it's like almost 11, and yeah, we took the Asia lows, but overall this is my draw liquidity for the day because on the 4 hour we have a bullish value gap over here, and Asia lows are lying on within that 4 hour value gap by pretty bear today, and actually we did go that low, right? But let's go on our first trade here. First trade was pre-market. Why did I take this trade? First, we had an S&P on this London high, so basically right here, the S&P here, where S&P 500 fails to take the high. So we did have a bearish S&P, then we had an internal bearish. Took the trade as soon as this candle closed because we don't really have a change state delivery on this flag. But what I want is for this BPR to hold. Actually, today we had a lot of BPR showing in. We had here BPR. Say, bro, we had a candle closer BPR over here. Why didn't you take the entry out of that when you already have the conviction that the draw probably is gonna be lower? So I took the entry here because I want this BPR to hold and show me that price will reject and that APR should act as a resistance. And an additional confirmation on this leg because we had another inverse value gap that entered here. I sorted, put my stops above those highs. It's big profit at this low, which is basically there's a 15-minute projection block here, so that's why I ain't take profit over here. That's my internal risk liquidity, so basically it's just this low, but it's really up to you. But yeah, that's what I really aim for this trade over here. But yeah, after I entered here, we respected that inverse value gap. We never really tried to retrace and test CPR at this moment. But we had here another change in state and a fair value gap. After that, I went to break even when we had a candle closure over here. Is why we inverse the first presented value gap on this leg. So that just shows me that the price will most likely just keep going lower. And after we had that break even over here, I went and put my stops to break even and just waited, just let the trade be. And we had another change in state, which was this one. And at this candle closure over here, pretty much held my stop underneath this low because I'm anticipating that this low, but it was a mistake. That trailed stop, guys, was actually a mistake because we have SMT. Oh, I mean, this buy wasn't really protected. SMT to actually support it. Yes, it should hold because there was a change in state. It was an order block. It has decent displacement, showing that there is a fair value up here. It's basically in down. Took me out. Watched this trade be pretty much this change in state held, and I watched this trade go by. I understand my mistake there. I should have just let trade be. Trade stops, is within my rules, but trade stops should have an S&P with them, and this really didn't. So yeah, that was a mistake there. I was just risking like 0.4% here, and this take profit is like 0.9, something like that. So I definitely missed out on that. So I got stopped out in profit, basically, yeah, 0.37 ROI there. But yeah, that's the first trade there. This one's a forward test. I did want to take this trade because of like that makes sense. We are holding a higher time frame bearish S&P out of this all-time high, but S&P 500 is just a long high just setting up there. So I mean, it won't look good. We swept this close, but I'm pretty bearish. So I didn't take this trade, but this actually was a banger trade if I did. Because DPR was just the best. I wanted to take this trade. We aim for internal highs, but yeah, we had an S&P out of those highs, which was actually this. And if I did that, I would have got another win here, but just became a forward test. Then third trade was, oh, second trade, like second live trade was a loss. I became too hyper focused on forwards that I didn't really have valid confirmations, like confirmations in a way that there's already an S&P, but we need to have like a confirmation, like an inverse value gap in its face expected for value gap retrace. So basically, this is another gamble type of shorts, guys. A gamble shorts. I took shorts here. Mainly because we had an S&P out of this high, so an S&P and a mini internal S&P out of this high. On my MP5, this high wasn't taken. I mean, this high wasn't taken, but Nasdaq took this high. So I took the short on this low. Aim for that's of liquidity. Because I know that the drawn liquidity is the Asia low. So I'm just targeting basically internal lows in the higher time frame. So I got immediately stopped out here and market open just pumps. And I know that, I should have stopped trading today because the second had a break even and a loss. But unlike on my book, it's not necessarily like a loss because I was risking so low on this trades. Because basically here I was up 0.1%. I lost here like under 0.3%. So I was down under 2%, 0.2% of the day here. So I was like, I can still take a trade. My risks are extremely low. So and I have strong draw bias, but I became pretty patient. Let this be. Then we are holding. We are trying to invest S&P. Basically, these are those London highs, and the actual London highs at that moment was actually this one. So look at that S&P. Then I was just chilling, chilling, chilling. Then I look here, 938 high, and 938. It was never taken out. Okay, I got the S&P, but hoarding on all-time high is not the best thing to do. So I wait for further confirmations. I got the inverse. Did it enter right away? Nope. Why didn't I? Guys, hoarding on an all-time high is pretty risky. Alright, so I was looking here 3 minutes. I was like, I want to inverse at least the first percentage gap here. And the first percentage gap is going to be here. So I was like, no, I'm going to look at the 3 minutes. I'm just going to look at the 1 minute. Okay, okay. This is the first percentage preval gap. So this is what I'm really waiting to inverse at this moment. This is what I was waiting when I was seeing this going down. Okay, we had the first inverse. Basically, you can call this also a change in state delivery or call it change in state, but for me, it's not enough unless it's like strong displacement. Let's say one rejection candle takes this high, then there's like the next candle is like over here and just mock this like so. That what would happen. Let's say candle here, same candle, but just a wick is up there. The body's over here. I mean, let's say the body, let's say over here. Or something like that. Let's just say the candle is like, just think of the candles to be like, somehow like that. Then let's say there was a huge rejection candle. Let's say it closed, this candle goes underneath this wick. So we had a kind of closer open here. And then there's bearish candles from here and just close below this. I would take that trade, but that's not what happened. Anyways, that was what I was like, putting in my mind at that moment. But since we didn't have that, we're not gonna picture out an image in our brains. We need to see what the price presents. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for this first percentage Vaga on this leg. Not really change its state. I'm gonna retain its state because if I'm gonna go for a change its state on this, it's gonna be too high of a stop loss. It's just either I'm gonna wait for a retreat with an S&T or just wait for this first percentage of value gap to get inverse. I mean, we didn't get the resweep, so I'm gonna wait for the first percentage value gap. But over here, when we inverse, that's why I didn't take the trade. I was waiting for this PPR. I literally marked this out. Yeah, we had here a PPR. I entered, candle closure, boom, stops above those highs. And yeah, I just said I'm gonna set my stop and break even when we go below at this point, but I never did. I was like, I just have strong conviction with my trade. But what did I do was actually de-risk, not break even. I just from here put my stop just above this bars, above this body. So I just de-risk over here. And then when we had this kind of closure, we had another BPR. Second BPR on this leg. So two of the BPRs with inverse actually gave us a change of state. So I was really confident with this shorts. That's why I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go stops to break even. There's a chance of us just retracing, but I'm expecting this BPR and this mini change of state to hold, basically order block to hold bearish. That's why I just de-risk over here. But as much as possible, I just want to put myself above stay high because that's the point is my trade is really invalidated. But this BPR should hold. So we had this BPR, which is my last line of defense, and we had another BPR here. And I wasn't really checking the charts. I was doing my other activities. Then I just started recording, like screen recording, since I wasn't looking at the charts. I was just screen recording, and then the moment I look at my phone, I was like, okay. I was saying, okay, let's take partials on this low because I said 1.5 should be partials. So I was like, this low was partial worthy uh, partial worthy low. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take partials here, but in reality, I took partials maybe this low, and it was so quick. Took my take profit and was 2% in this trade. So overall, my total P&L for the day is around 1.7% in profits. And I did follow my rules here. I said we go for going on the weakest target, internal lows and highs. I need to have external and internal SMTs to have protected highs and lows. I didn't quite follow the here. I was just, trying to, focus or outcome focus. So I was like, okay, I've learned from that. Let's be process focused. And I didn't even put myself to break even yet. I'm just like focusing. I put my stop loss there. There's where my trade is invalidated. I'm gonna partials here, take profit there, and yeah, I aim for these lows. I know that these are low resistance liquidities. Actually get mugged, stacked like candle. And this is where I'm expecting price to possibly reject, which is the consequent enroachment of the hourly gap. But took that, say bye bye. So yeah, the drawn liquidity for the day for me was $10. This one I really want to take a trade today, but I want to have some sort of rest because I have had losing day yesterday, and I want to have a time off the charts, just reflect, and be process focused instead of outcome focused. Detach myself from the outcomes, just focus on executing my edge flawlessly. So overall, this day, my initial draw and liquidity and buy for the day is what really played out. And yeah, I just always remind myself, yeah, the draw liquidity is there. I could have made this short if I wanted to. I'm not going for home runs. I need consistency. Yeah, let's say if I really did take this trade, I would pass my account right now. Would that really make me a better trader? Possibly, but consistency does pay off. So we just need to compound those small wins. Take this first funded ever to be, like my trading ground. So when we go to the funded stage, we know what we are actually doing and we did the right way to, deposit account. And I can proud to say that, I used a profitable strategy. I wasn't gambling. Those were actually precise trades. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. I hope you found this video beneficial and valuable. And yeah, this video serves as an example to always follow your strategy. You may be in a loose streak like I did. You may be in a loose streak, feel like your edge is just falling apart. Not really your edge, it's really your psychology. It's falling apart. Just focus on reflecting on your trade, creating discipline out off the charts because clarity and discipline is built off the charts so that when you're on the charts, those noise and chaos is out of the way and you're just locked in. You have this goal, you have this edge, you have this system that you're following. And you just gotta be consistent at it, trust it, follow it, put it deep inside your heart, and just do it. Be emotionless, be stoic, and yeah, stay sharp, stay disciplined. Peace out.